OCD help books for younger children. In this video, I'm going to read the first of my books in the Mind Monster series called Hank the Hungry Monster that introduces OCD as a monster. My aim is to give younger children OCD strategies to help them battle this monster. So here goes. Hank is settling into his new home. I think I'm going to be very happy here, he chuckles to himself. Hank is a very hungry monster who never gets full. But Hank isn't hungry for food, he's hungry for power. Hank loves to play games, but only games he can win, and he wins a lot. Time for a new game, he thinks. He starts to fiddle with some controls. O, C, D, and replay. Wonderful, they all seem to be working perfectly, he chuckles. Time for some fun. Annabelle's a bubbly little girl who loves to play with her friends. Everyone loves Annabelle. Everyone, that is, except Hattie. Hattie is a friend too, but Hattie sometimes makes her sad. Annabelle often catches her whispering and then she stops and giggles as Annabelle approaches. Hattie is always lovely to her face though, until one day, horror. Hattie starts pointing at something on Annabelle's face. What's that on your nose, she asks. Hattie is pointing to a bit of sunburn on Annabelle's nose, which is so small you can hardly or barely see it. Everyone is staring at her, some are giggling. Annabelle begins to feel uncomfortable. And then it's all over. The school bell rings and off they all dash back into the classroom. Everyone seems to have forgotten about the incident and the sunburn. Everyone, that is, except Annabelle. Oh, and Hank, who has been watching it all from his control room. This is going perfectly, he thinks to himself. Time for my new game to commence, he chuckles. He presses the O button. His control panel flashes the words, order, play new game. A sequence of worrying thoughts start to transfer into Annabelle's mind. Ping! That was unpleasant, wasn't it? Ping! You don't ever want to feel like that again, do you? Ping! All that unwanted attention wasn't nice, was it? Ping! You need to keep yourself safe so that doesn't happen to you again. But how do I do that? Annabelle wonders to herself. This is fun. Time for a new command, thinks Hank. He rubs his hands together in glee and presses the C. His control panel flashes the word create command. Ping! You need to wash your face straight away and then you'll be safe, comes the order. Annabelle looks worried. That's what I must do then, she decides. Miss, please may I go to the toilet, she asks. Yes, of course, replies Mrs. Carmen. Mrs. Carmen has been Annabelle's teacher for 2 years. Annabelle is fond of her and she has a kind, smiley face. This is easy, muses Hank. Time to get serious now, though, he chuckles. He presses the D control. His control button lights up brighter than ever with the words, deliver instructions. Annabelle washes her face with some water in the basin and is about to walk out when, stop! A voice booms in her head, carefully operated by Hank. You need to wash it with soap as well, 3 times, or it won't work. She thinks it seems a bit silly, but she doesn't want to take any chances, so she washes it another twice, just in case, and then leaves. I must say I feel much better now, she thinks to herself. Annabelle doesn't think any more about it. Hank, on the other hand, can think of nothing else. He gets up early the next morning, eager to continue with his game. He presses the D again. Don't forget to wash your face 3 times this morning, comes the order. No need for that, thinks Annabelle, and she just washes it once in the usual way. Hank is very cross. He doesn't like his authority challenge. What if you get more sunburn? What if everyone giggles again? Can you handle that? Annabelle begins to panic. What if I do get sunburnt again and everyone makes fun of me? And worse still, what if nobody wants to be my friend anymore? Better safe than sorry, though, she thinks to herself, and off she goes to wash her face 3 times, just in case. When she comes out of the bathroom, her face is bright red from washing. She feels good though and safe, and off she goes to school. All is well for about an hour until the school bell rings again for playtime, just as Hank is pressing the replay button on his game. The orders start again. You need to wash your face again to avoid getting sunburned, booms the voice in her head. Annabelle becomes anxious again and heads straight for the toilets. Mrs. Carmen follows her. She watches from the doorbell as Annabelle starts counting. 1, 2, 3, which is Hank's favourite number, by the way, as she washes her face. Why are you doing this? Asks Mrs. Carmen as she quietly leads her to the staff room. It's because something bad will happen to me if I don't, she cries. A voice in my head told me that I have to do it or nobody will like me. Annabelle tells the teacher what happened the day before. You don't need to do these things, Annabelle, says Mrs. Carmen. None of the other children do this, and they're all okay, she continues. You don't have sunburn, you just have a nice glow from being in the sun. Have you thought that maybe Hattie is just a bit insecure herself, asks Mrs. Carmen. Annabelle hadn't thought about it quite like that. Would you like me to help you magic these voices out of your head, she continues. Oh, yes, please, begs Annabelle. It's easy. All you need to do is just speak up to the voice in your head to drown it out, says Mrs. Carmen. How do I do that? Asks Annabelle. You simply need to ignore the voice by saying no over and over. Annabelle decides to give it a try, and with a little practice, the voices eventually go away, just like Mrs. Carmen predicted. Then, as if by magic, life is normal and happy again for Annabelle. Hank, on the other hand, is getting very frustrated. And very hungry. None of his controls are working. O, nothing. C, nothing. D, nothing. Replay, still nothing. He decides there's only one thing to do. He packs up his stuff and decides to find another home, one where he can get fed again. And one that leads on to my next story, which will be Trixie the Treat Monster. I wrote the book for 3 aims, really. It's just to try and help parents understand the early signs of OCD so they can actually tackle them before they get out of control. I wrote them also to teach children that words and actions can have consequences, like happened with Hattie and Annabelle, so that with the purpose of being kind. And thirdly, I wrote it as well to show the children the importance of not be feeling embarrassed about OCD, but to actually speak up about it in the early stages, because that's the best way of tackling OCD, is to tackle it straight away. If you actually purchase copies of my book from my website, which is www.themindmonsters.co.uk, this only applies to the UK only. I will personally sign the books and with a special message for your child. So if you tell me in the instructions what your child's name is, and if there's anything particularly you want me to write in there, I'll personally sign it. So when your child unpacks the book, the actual author, as in me, will have signed it personally for them. I'll also enclose a character bookmark as well, and my prices on the website include delivery as well. So the cost of my book on my website is £10, and of that, I actually donate 50% of profits made from my book, which from my website equates to £2 per book. So you'll not just be helping me, but you'll also be helping CAMS, for me to help raise money for CAMS, which is Children and Adolescent Mental Health Services. If you're living outside the UK, you can still purchase copies of my books, but sadly I can't sign them there. They're available from Amazon, the Book Depository, and most of the leading book retailers out there. I hope that's helped you. As I say, I wrote them as an OCD help book resource for children and parents to tackle OCD. Hope you enjoyed it. Please pop a comment in the bottom in the comment section if you did like it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any more videos that I make. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next video.